A comment from the video, all I gotta say is we, GMS, told you so. And this is the video that was put up earlier today. Today's date is 12/20/2020, year of prophecy. We have with 10 going into the 11 days to the year 2021, and then when the year 2021 comes in, the Most High, we see the Most High turning up. Anyway, the video is all I gotta say is we, GMS, told you so. Put up by GMS. Edification, daily exhortation to Banyamyan. And this is the comment. Well, this video is based upon a video that Barak, or Elder Barak, put up concerning something that went down. What was that, in Mississippi, I believe it was, and we heard it in the car going down to the camp yesterday. And Barak, if you know Barak, we knew Barak. Barak, by the way, he came into school a few months before I did. I came in 85, the beginning of 85. He came in, I believe, the end of 84, because I remember him. We were like new students coming in. Myself, him, Shalimar, and Johanna. Oh, the Johanna, he came in about maybe 2 or 3 months after me in 85, but he says that he came in 84. Now I don't know if he came in and he fell back out and came back in. Only he can tell you that. But anyway, let's get back to this video here. I didn't even get a chance to watch the whole video, but I noticed this comment. Let me see. I don't know if anyway, in the video, Elder Barak says they had a unity camp, and the IUIC came down, about 300 or 400 men with the all purple on, and marched, around them, blocking the sound and everything of them teaching, and even, I guess, approached them. That's clearly the spirit of the wicked scribes and Pharisees. And I'm going to read the scripture. I'm going to go into Acts, the 5th chapter. But there's many scriptures that come to mind, but the first scripture that popped into my mind was Acts, the 5th chapter. We're spiritual men. We're not carnal men. We're not going to take this man down. Let's get enough of us together and build an army. No. Esau's blessing was the sword, which is the missile, the gun, the killing instrument that they use in war. That's the sword. And we're not going to do that. We're the Most High. First of all, the Most High is going to deliver us. We're not going to deliver us. We're not going to deliver ourselves. So this attitude of we're going to do this and we're going to do that to Esau, it's pretty much saying you don't need the Most High. Esau is in power because the Most High put him in power. And even the Apostle Paul said that in Romans, the 13th chapter, the first couple of verses. Anyway, let me read this comment that the individual put up. Because it was talked about, how they rolled up on the camp. So this is the comment put up by GMS ban Abun Zaab 2. It says Nate did the very same thing to us in Detroit a couple months back. We're on a well-known busy street. Nate sent about 30 guys to work the corner 1 block down. Now why would the scripture speak about building on another man's foundation? I'm not going to go to it, but if somebody wants to put it down in the comment section, they can put it down. There's many, there's many blocks and avenues. So it's obvious they wasn't pushing the gospel. They were just trying to push brothers off that they don't realize that. You should realize maybe the Most High is dealing with these guys. I wouldn't do what need would I have to do to go to another camp that's set up and be a block down and get a bullhorn out to try to sound them out? That's wickedness, man. And after I read this, I'm gonna give you experience that we had back when the split took place, when we got kicked out of the house of David, or 126, and ultimately that was based upon the Cornelius thing, which, by the way, Nate now teaches. But when he started teaching it, he didn't say, "Well, I apologize to Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rhyme." It really was me and Apostle Gabar. Which the Cornelius thing first came out before the split, when High Priest Ariah had told High Priest Shaw to call me on my Monday night class. And basically what High Priest Ariah did was, he said, "Yes, it seems like I'm going through this Acts 10, and Cornelius has to be an Israelite." But before he would put it out, he would kind of go to certain trusted men, and I was one of them. So he told Shaw, he said, "Look, call Tahar and ask him what he thinks about this." So Shaw called me in the middle of class, and he said, "Yeah, High Priest Ariah told me to call you. What do you think about Cornelius, being a Jake?" And I hung up on him because I was in the middle of my class. But after he could argue, we straightened it out. And then the split came, and then a couple months in, myself and Gabar was teaching, and he was kind of reading. We were kind of going through Acts 10, and Apostle Gabar said out loud, thought out loud. He said, I don't know, man. Cornelius might be an Israelite." So I kind of got mad at him because, you got young people in the class, and plus we had a spy. We call him the California Raisin. He fell out. He getting ready to eat a missile soon. He was actually, he used to come to our classes faithfully, but he was actually a spy for Nate and certain other men. And he would I don't know if he brought in a tape recorder or whatever, but he would sit in the class and open up the scriptures and smile in our face. But if he said something that was off, he would go and report it back to Nate and some of the other guys. I'm not going to mention these guys' names. You don't know them anyway, and they all back in the world anyway. And we didn't know that, man. And I basically told, Apostle Gabar, leave it alone, and look, we'll have a meeting on it, and we got young, but it already got out. So they had brought us to council, and this was during the time period when we was up in Connecticut, and we would go out like we normally do on the highways and the byways, and every week for about a good month, every week we get ready to go out. Oh, it's an emergency meeting. You guys got to come down to New York or come down over some bullshit next week. I'm like, look, I said, we're not teaching. We're not out there teaching, man. Then they had a council about the whole Cornelius thing. And basically they, we said, well, we won't teach it. The Apostle Paul said, why not take low? In Corinthians, I think it's 1 Corinthians 6. Anyway, we said, okay, we won't teach. It's no big deal. And they would say, but is it in your mind? I said, of course it's in my mind. You know, if I saw a chick with a fat booty, I found out that you married to that woman, I can't erase that fat ass out of my mind. You know, all I can do is say, sorry, I didn't know. I will avert my eyes elsewhere. You know? But that's what they said, but is it in your mind? How can I go into my mind and erase that? And then I said, well, you know what? Let's cast a lot. And Nate jumped up and almost his head jumped through the ceiling damn near. And he said, you can't do it. I said, why not? I said, because that's wicked to her. I remember it like it was yesterday, man. And I'm going to say this. Barack, or Elder Barack, and I believe Bunyamin and them guys was there. And they didn't say nothing. You know, like I said, Barack kind of a laid back guy. But they should have said something, man. They saw the wickedness. And they should have said something. But ultimately, when they kicked us out, we were like, you know, F them, you know. And there was a point, I don't know, maybe a month later, 3 weeks later, they had a contingent of guys come up to the school. Oh, first they said, let's read the judgment. They already had the judgment written. Them damn devils. The guy that read the judgment was a black demon. We call him Billy Goat McGruff, a mafia, that nigga in the spirit world. You know, he probably on the side of the demons. You know, the Lord probably pushed him to the left-hand side with Satan. But he said, let's read the judgment. And there was a point where a couple of fights almost broke out. You know, Ricard got riled up, you know. Or one of the guys that wanted to fight Ricard, which he was a cool brother, he just didn't like Ricard, and he wound up dropping dead. He was a young man, he wound up stroking out. Anyway, they basically said, okay, this is you know, we're going to bring the judgment, you can't teach it. And then they tried to punish me by saying, you got to come to the Sabbath service, which is 6 in the damn morning. So I said, I don't care, I'll come to the Sabbath service, I don't give a shit. So they kind of got mad at that. And they basically said, no, man, these guys are out to school, we don't kick them out to school, we ain't only pray with them. That was Rahab, that demon, that fucking demon. Oh, by the way, Rahab, that demon, committed adultery with Barack's woman, and everybody knew that Barack was dealing with that woman. Everybody knew that Barack was dealing with that woman. And he wound up, they were by themselves, and he wound up popping that woman. And when we brought him, we kind of got on his ass. Oh, I didn't know that was Barack. Motherfucker, if you see a man and a woman walking hand in hand, kissing and hugging and shit, you know they ain't brothers and sisters. You know they ain't kissing cousins. Well, he fell out, that demon. And I knew he was going to fall out anyway. He was a straight up demon. He was cool in the beginning. I give him that. He was cool. But he turned into a fucking demon, man. I remember seeing him. What was it? Fordham Road around there. Jerome Ave. I was driving my car and somebody was trying to cut in. So I said, cut on in. It was him. And he smiled. And I gave him a look like, yo, fuck you, nigga. And then he had that worried look on his face. And I said, go ahead in front of me, man. You know? I said, I ain't want to have nothing to do with that nigga. And all you demons that fell out, may Yahweh Hashem Yahushai destroy you. May you all eat a missile. Or take, well, you guys are all going to take the chip any goddamn way. Anyway, it said, and by the way, Nate, he's a master at everything that he teaches. He's just regurgitating what he was learned from One West. I was one of his teachers because he was in my camp. You know, Nate said, oh, Tahar's just a camp leader. But guess what? You were in my camp. Okay? Anyway, let me read this comment here. It says, Nate did the very same thing to us in Detroit.